All right, it is day 2 of the audio version of Language Arts. And I'm going to try to finish up meeting with everybody on their MAP scores. You should already have your planner filled out. It should have 30 minutes of reading and finish the Ravine vocabulary and language activities. I'll explain how to get to those at the end of this video. Go ahead and begin your divide and conquer. Get that done in just a couple minutes. That little timer usually goes off within 5 minutes of the hour starting. So pause this, and then when you're ready to check it, go on and open OneNote or Play Me. Hit play, and I'll have we'll go over the answers together. Okay, so it's time. You should already have this filled out. And for the sake of time, I'm going to be kind of quick, but you're in word work, divide and conquer. I'm going to get my writing utensil out. So sub means under, below, beneath. It's all three of those words. It's got a slight variation depending on how it's being used. So under, below, beneath, okay? Which is a little difficult here to fit everything in, but I'm going to do my best to write for you. So subtraction, the prefix sub means under. And I know there's not much room, so maybe you just do under, and you guys know for the sake of time I'm going to go quickly, but you could have written any of those here, under, below. Okay, so under, below, beneath is all of my prefixes here. Okay, but I have subtraction. Under plus tract means to carry. All right, so I actually carry under. Well, think about that. That kind of makes sense. When I subtract, I carry things under, or my number gets lower, right? All right, then I have submarine. So I'm using the word below. Marine means the sea. So those two together, below the sea. All right, subterranean. I've got beneath, and then terra, we learned in our video from Aquila and the Bee, means earth. So I have beneath, and I'm going to put the earth because I'm using a noun here. The earth is a noun, so I'll use that. Subtopic, under topic. I don't like that choice. Let's do beneath here, since it was a random writing. So I'm going to do beneath, and then topic is just topic. So when I have a subtopic, it's under the general topic. I guess I could have left it as under or beneath the topic, right? Or under the topic. So under could have worked as well. All right, then subhuman. All right, so I've got sub, it should be pluses, plus, and then equals. So below human. When someone says something is subhuman, they're usually describing a condition, like a room or a building might be subhuman. In other words, it's below human living, is kind of what they're trying to say. All right, I wanted to take a moment to talk about the divide and conquer on the quiz because it is a little different. So this is your quiz from last week, or it's close. I used my memory to create it from home. So you filled out here, you took care of multi. I know you probably wrote many. Auto, you wrote self. But let's take a look at number 3, the divide and conquer. Know that this final one is always divide and conquer. So that really means you're doing exactly what we just did together just now, but it's in words this time. So picture it, the word autograph. I'm going to do this, autograph, right? Then I would have my chart. Well, what's my prefix of autograph? Auto, right? So my prefix goes here, auto, but what does it mean? Self, right? That goes there. And then I have my plus sign here. So this is my prefix. And then I have my base here, or my root. And my base means to write. To write. It's graph, right? So it's graph right here. But what it means goes here. So I have my meaning of self, auto and self, and I have the meaning of graph is to write. Okay, many of you got this, you did really well. You wrote self-written or to write self. Think about it. Your autograph, you're writing your name, aren't you? It's you. So that's kind of where autograph comes from. Okay, hopefully that helps you pull out the writing part. Maybe make a chart for yourself. Write the word it's asking you to define. Put in prefix and base, and then put the definitions below, just like the one we went over together. I hope this helps a little bit. Let's go back to our day. Okay, we're going to go ahead. I want you to grab your lab book. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. And your musing is right here. Just like yesterday, turn your volume down, set your timer for 4 minutes, write, and then move on. All right, it's read aloud. Let's finish our chapter together. Oh boy, hope I can get this done here. Went under, gone. All that was left was a vast ocean and a blue air mattress. Mr. Bellows! He peeked up, then sagged back down. I swam as fast as I could, wanting to climb up on that air mattress with them, get out of the water. Mr. Bellows! Was he hurt? Had the shark attacked him? Where was it now? I swirled around searching for it, sank and opened my eyes to an underwater emptiness that glowed. Deep blue radiated up in rays, as if there were a light at the bottom, 1,000 fathoms down. I came up gasping and wiped the water from my face. Looking back, I could barely see Louis, now squatting on the rocks looking out at us. I started swimming again. Not far. Keep going. Don't stop now. So tired. Stay up. Kick. My arms slapped the water, desperate strokes. My hand hit something. I yanked it back and looked up. Blue. Blue! Mr. Bellows lifted his head. Blood streaked down his face. Mr. Bell... I sank, sputtering. My arms were weak, almost useless. Mr. Bellows reached out and grabbed my hand. His arm was ripped with cuts. Semper Fidelis was all sliced up. I clung to his hand, too tired to speak. Thank God, Mr. Bellows croaked, his voice raspy. Me and Louis, we... My arms trembled. I rested on the edge of the air mattress. The current slowly carried us south. Suddenly I looked up. Did you get bit by a shark? No, but it was here, he said weakly. Can you kick, Mr. Bellows? We have to make it back. I can try, he whispered. Is Sam weak? The heat. Casey is... He's okay. We moved higher up. He has a cut knee. He closed his eyes and laid his head on his arm. I was so tired I could hardly move, but I had to. The current was dragging us away. I gulped air deeply, searched for strength. Mr. Bellows, we have to move. We started kicking, slowly moving toward an island that now seemed impossibly far away. I gave it more. The easy current carried us gently, luring us into the great emptiness of the Pacific Ocean, where there would be nothing but weeks or months of empty sea. No one would ever find us. We'd be nearly invisible specks. Louis stood and followed along the shore as we slowly drifted south. Kick! It took hours. Or maybe it was only one. Mr. Bellows stopped kicking soon after we'd started. He seemed dazed, but I kept going, whispering, kick, kick, kick. Like a clock, my mind locked. Kick, kick. I lifted my head at the sound of a voice, faint but clear. Push it! Push! You almost here! I looked up and saw him waving from shore. You can do it! He jumped down into a cove. There was a small coral beach. I aimed for it. Louis waded out as far as he could. The bottom fell away quickly. There were no shallows on the island anywhere. It was an undersea mountain top. Mr. Bellows, I said, we're almost there. He raised his head. The sight of land seemed to revive him. He struggled to kick. We surged ahead, and when we got close to the coral beach, he let go and tried to swim. Louis grabbed him. Mr. Bellows looked back. Go, I said. I got Sam. Louis helped Mr. Bellows climb up to dry rock. Mr. Bellows wore only a white t-shirt and his boxer shorts. Sam was shirtless in a pair of white skivvies. Louis found a place for Mr. Bellows to sit, then dropped back down to pull me, Sam, and the air mattress in. Here, he said, handing me my glasses. I took them in my fist, my spent arm shaking. I put my head down on the air mattress. I'm so tired. Sleep later. Look. I peeked up. Sam was stirring. He moaned. Sammy, Louis said, and Sam tried to raise his head. You safe now. We going help you out. You ready? Sam nodded. I was so relieved I dropped my head back onto the air mattress. Sam was doing better than he'd looked. Wake up, Louis said, shaking my arm. I found my footing on the sharp coral beach. Louis and I each took one of Sam's arms and helped him out of the water. His eyes were rimmed red and swollen. Blood oozed in small tears from his cuts. The ocean hadn't let them dry out. But there were no deep gashes and no broken bones, as far as I could tell. We climbed up to dry rock and then let him lie down. I felt his skin, hot, clammy. Louis knelt and put his ear to Sam's chest. Fast heartbeat. We got to find some shade, cool him down. I looked up, searching. Shade wasn't something we were going to find. We make it, Louis said, reading my thoughts. Heat stroke? Probably, or close. We laid Sam down on the flattest rocks we could find. Louis pulled his t-shirt off and took it down to soak in the ocean. He wrung the water out, brought the t-shirt back, and folded it over Sam's forehead. Wet your shirt, he said. It's over there. I grabbed it, soaked it, and tossed it up to Louis. Shade. Any place out of the sun. But there was no place. Mr. Bellows crawled over and sat next to Sam. We got dragged out to sea in the second wave. We were... He stopped suddenly and pointed. Grab that air mattress. Don't let it get away. I climbed down and waded out, the hungry sea already tugging it from the shore. Mr. Bellows took it from me. This saved our lives, and we can use it as a shelter. He stood it on its side, blocking Sam from the blazing sun. Hot shade flooded over him. Scratches like spider webs crisscrossed his back and stomach, his arms, legs, and face. Sam had taken a beating. We all had. Thank you, Mr. Bellows said, both of you, for finding us. It was Louis. He's the one. You swam out, Louis said. I couldn't. He nodded toward the sea. Took guts. I turned and saw the shark fin. Was following you. I thought it was gone. Louis stood and squinted. Same one we saw before. Look, see the bullet hole? Mesa was right, I whispered. Mr. Bellows looked toward the point, Jalape just beyond. He was dazed, but he could still reason. The rest of the boys? Is anyone missing? Only Zach, Louis said. Maybe Casey found him by now. He went looking for you. Reverend Paya has a broken arm, I added, and Lenny has a broken arm and 2 broken legs. But we're all still alive. It's only Zach we don't know about. We have to find him, Mr. Bellows said. Worry lines crowded his eyes. Hey, Louis said gently. We going do that. Right now, we got to get you and Sam out of the sun. Mr. Bellows squinted up. He touched a cut on his forehead and winced. Blood was starting to cake around it. It doesn't look too bad, I said. Stings like the devil. Salt, Louis said. Mr. Bellows pushed himself to his feet. He wobbled and reached out to steady himself, grabbing Louis' shoulder. I removed the wet t-shirts and helped Sam stand. I wasn't sure he could walk. Mr. Bellows let the air out of the mattress and folded it, then tucked it under his arm. Let's go back to camp, boys. What camp? I thought. I climbed back down to the water and re-soaked the shirts, but didn't squeeze them out. The wetter, the better. I took them back and draped one over Sam's head and the other around his neck. I lifted my chin for Louis to grab Sam's other arm. Together, we slowly headed back the way we'd come. Sam could walk, but not very well. He wasn't looking so good. I glanced at Louis. He shook his head and scanned the rocks, searching for the next safe step, and the next one after that. All right, we're going to stop there. That's the end of the chapter. I do not have time on this video section to explain your assignment. So what I want you to do is go back to Google Classroom and click on the second video, and I'll pick up where I've left off.